So your bank account is negative every month? Like you're
Yeah,
overdrawn?
yep, I'm overdrawn. I actually almost on a weekly basis.
Mm. It's funny that you talk about this. I literally just got off a webinar about this very thing, and at the end of the day, it's probably boiling down to budgeting issues. Do you have a budget?
I've been working on trying to do one. I recently got the Every Dollar
Mm-hmm.
premium because it was able to track my stuff better. But
Yeah.
I'm struggling like weekly with groceries. It's just with a
Yeah.
family of five, it's hard to keep it under a certain amount.
You're a good man. You work hard. You clock in 40, 50, maybe 60 hours a week, and you bring home a paycheck you've earned through sweat. You pay the car note. You pay the credit card bill. You do everything the world tells you a responsible man is supposed to do. And then you're standing in the grocery store checkout line, a cart full of food for your family, and a cold dread washes over you as you swipe your card, praying it doesn't get declined. That quiet, humming terror that lives in the back of your mind, does that sound familiar? For decades, we've been force-fed a lie. We've been told that our primary duty is to the lender. The enemy, we've been told, is a missed payment, a mark on our credit report. Banks and financial institutions have brilliantly convinced us that our FICO score is a more accurate measure of our character than whether or not our children have enough to eat. And that is the real reason you're stuck. It's not just about your income. The real reason you feel like you're running on a financial treadmill going nowhere is because you have been masterfully trained to serve the beast that is eating you alive. You've been taught to feed your captors before you feed your own family. But today, that lie dies. Today, we are going to break that programming. I'm going to walk you through the single most controversial, most powerful piece of advice Dave Ramsey gives to people who feel like they are drowning, to men who simply cannot pay all their bills. Now let me be crystal clear. This video is not for the faint of heart. If you're looking for a simple coupon-cutting tip or a magic formula that doesn't require guts, this is not for you. I invite you to click away now. But if you are sick and tired of the anxiety, if you are ready to face an uncomfortable truth to finally change your family's situation, then you are in the right place. Stay with me. 1. You have permission to prioritize survival. The first and most controversial piece of advice you must burn into your mind is this. You are not just allowed to, but you are morally obligated to feed your family before you pay your unsecured creditors. Period. Full stop. For most guys, that statement sounds like financial heresy. It goes against every rule we've ever been taught. We've been conditioned to live in absolute fear of that 30-day late notice, of the collection call, of the big red mark on our credit report. But that fear is a tool. It's a weapon that banks use to make sure they get their money, even if it means you and your kids go without. Think of your monthly income like a single lifeboat in the middle of a raging hurricane. Your family, your wife, your kids, they are in that lifeboat with you. They are your entire world, and your number one mission is to keep them safe, dry, and fed. Out in the stormy seas are other massive ships. Let's call them the SS MasterCard and the USS Visa. And they are all blowing their horns, flashing their lights, and demanding that you row your tiny lifeboat over to them and give them your rations. A misinformed captain might try to appease the giant ships. But a good captain, a real leader, a good husband and father, he secures his own crew first. Always. This is the story of a man named Travis who called into the Ramsey show. He's a husband, a father of 3 young triplets, making about $3,600 a month. And he was living this nightmare every single week. He was constantly overdrawing his bank account, not because he was irresponsible, but because he was trying to follow the rules. He would get paid, send money to his car payment, and pay the credit card companies first. By the time he paid for everything else, the one thing that pushed his account into the negative, the one thing that caused that gut-wrenching terror, was groceries for his family. He was literally choosing his creditors over his own children. This is the first step in rewiring your broke mindset. The takeaway is this: you must give yourself permission to put your family's physical survival above your financial score. 2. Your priorities are the problem. The second hard truth, which flows directly from the first, is that you're losing the game because you are playing it completely upside down. The things you have been taught to put first, you must now put dead last. It's a brutal reality check. When you're in survival mode, your goal isn't to build wealth or to have a perfect credit score. Your goal is to survive, to fight another day. And to do that, you have to get ruthlessly clear about what actually matters. What are the absolute non-negotiables? Imagine you're the general of an army under siege. You have limited resources, food, ammunition, and medical supplies. You have tanks and you have medics. A foolish general might send his medics, his least defended units, to the front line first because he feels obligated. But he would get wiped out in minutes. A wise general knows he must send his armored divisions first to secure the perimeter and protect his crucial resources. In your financial battle, the things that truly protect your family are what Dave Ramsey calls the four walls. They are your armored divisions: food, utilities, shelter, and transportation. That's it. These four things get paid before anyone else gets a single dime. Let's think about a guy. We'll call him Marcus. Marcus works as a technician, a solid guy who prided himself on his 800 credit score and never missing a payment. But he and his wife were always stressed. The power would get shut off for a day, the pantry would be nearly empty before payday. Why? Because the moment his paycheck hit, he was on his banking app, sending $200 to this card, $100 to that store loan. He was paying the little guys first. He was sending his medics to the front line, and his family was paying the price. He wasn't truly being a responsible man. He was being a responsible customer for the banks. The most controversial thing he had to do was redefine what responsibility meant. He had to learn that the things that seemed the most important, like credit cards, were actually the least important in a crisis. They needed to go to the absolute bottom of the page. It's an uncomfortable but necessary shift in your entire financial worldview. The takeaway is this: true financial responsibility means securing your household first, even if it means you disappoint every single bank. 3. Your comfort is the enemy of your survival. The final and most controversial piece of advice is this: when your family is hungry, your personal comfort is no longer an option. You cannot just cut your way out of an income problem. You must work your way out, and it must start now. This is a gut check for so many of us. We spend hours looking at our budget, trying to squeeze out another $20, another $50. We think if we can just cut out that one lunch or cancel a streaming service, everything will be okay. But that is not a plan, that's a prayer. And hope is not a strategy. Think of it like this: you're in a wooden boat and there's a massive hole in the bottom. Water is rushing in. Cutting your expenses is like grabbing a bucket and bailing water as fast as you can. It's absolutely necessary, and you have to do it to keep from sinking immediately. But if the hole is big enough, you are in a race you will never win. You will eventually get exhausted, and you will sink. Increasing your income is fundamentally different. That is grabbing a hammer, some nails, and a piece of wood and patching the damn hole. Even better, it's firing up the outboard engine and powering toward shore. Bailing keeps you from dying for another hour. Fixing the engine gets you to safety. Let's go back to the caller, Travis. After Dave gives him permission to stop paying his creditors and to secure his four walls, he doesn't stop there. He immediately pivots. With a take-home pay of $3,600 for a family of 5, Travis doesn't have an expense problem. He has an income crisis. Dave challenges him directly. Travis says he goes to a trade school 3 nights a week, and Dave asks the hard question: what are we doing on those other nights? Because you're about to do some more work, dude. Your family's hungry. The laundry can pile up. The housework can wait. Your exhaustion does not matter. When your family's well-being is on the line, you must be willing to sacrifice your sleep, your weekends, and your comfort to get the income up. This is the hardest truth for most men to swallow because we are already tired. We are already working hard. But in a true crisis, the question is no longer, am I tired, but is my family safe? The takeaway is this: you must be willing to declare war on your own comfort to guarantee your family's victory. So let's bring it all home. What is the controversial advice that will break you out of this cycle? First, prioritize survival. You have permission to feed your children before you pay MasterCard. Secure your 4 walls above all else. Second, your priorities are the problem. The credit card companies and unsecured lenders go to the absolute bottom of the list. They get paid only if there is anything left. Third, your comfort is the enemy. You must attack the income side of the equation with aggressive, immediate, and sacrificial action. Listen to me. Your bank account today is not a reflection of your character as a man. It is a temporary situation defined by a broken system. With your actions starting right now, that is what defines your future. These truths are uncomfortable. They are controversial, but they are the clear, proven path out of the terror and into a life of control and peace. You can do this. So here is my challenge to you. Not tomorrow, not next week, right now. When this video ends, I don't want you to just think about it. I want you to take one real-world action. Take out your phone or a piece of paper and write down only your 4 walls, food, utilities, shelter, and transportation. Add up what they cost. That number, and only that number, is now your mission. The battle for your family's financial freedom starts with that one simple action. It starts now.